Hey, welcome to Wealth and Wellness for Women of Color, a safe place where you can learn how to live an abundant life. And today we're going to talk about a form of domestic violence, which is financial abuse. Oftentimes people are like, what the heck is financial abuse have to do with domestic violence? Well, a lot. Typically, a harm doer, if they're going to assert their control over their victim, one of the ways in which they do that is financially. And that can be in maybe some coercion and manipulation to convince the victim that they need to use their credit card, or they somehow just dominating that person, saying, giving some reason as to why they need to use this person's credit card or be an authorized user, whether they're married or unmarried. But this individual will want to have access to the credit, and then they may rack up large expenses and bills and build out that debt, and the victim is then stuck with it. And I want to share with you an experience of a woman that I supported on her journey when she was really wanting to focus on being able to create her own wealth and overcoming some of the violence that she experienced with a previous relationship. And one of the things that had come up was that she really wanted to buy a home one day. And so she said, I really want to buy a home, but I don't want to talk to a loan officer. These are people that she knew. Actually, she had friends that were in the that were loan officers, and she said, I'm really embarrassed because I have this debt and I just don't want to talk about it. But it wasn't until later on throughout her coaching when it became apparent that she was resisting on wanting to share the amount of debt that she had with me as her coach, but this is something she wanted to work on. So, I just met her from where she was at, and we just continued to work together in our coaching. And then over time, she sent me a spreadsheet of her debt that had been accrued in her credit cards. And through one of our coaching sessions, after she knew that I had just taken a look at it, she opened up to me and let me know how difficult it was for her to send that spreadsheet, how she'd never sent it to anybody. She would not speak to anyone about the debt she had, even with her current boyfriend she'd been with for a while now, and they have a healthy, loving relationship. And she became overcome with emotion as she realized this and was sharing this with me. And through that session that we had together, she realized that she'd been carrying so much shame for the past 13 years about this debt. And why? Because her previous relationship, the individual she was with, had coerced her, manipulated her into using her credit. And she left that relationship with so much debt. And it brought her so much anxiety and shame and fear whenever the thought of having to look at her credit report, paying it, not even talking about it, because she wouldn't talk about it. And she didn't realize until after she had sent that to me and we had the conversation how much this had impacted her, the financial abuse she had experienced with her previous relationship and as a harm doer. So I wanted to provide this information to you so that if you're a woman who is currently experiencing any sort of shame, fear and worry and anxiety about your debt that you may be carrying that was not initiated by you, but by somebody else that took advantage of you, I completely understand what that experience may be like for you. So please feel free to drop a comment below if you know somebody or if you've experienced this yourself at some point in your life. And again, if you don't feel safe or comfortable providing that information in my comments below, you can always send me a direct message and email me, leah@leahcoaching.com. For more information and resources and tips, please visit my website at leahcoaching.com. Scroll down on the homepage and you'll be able to enter your information to receive the Women of Color Rising newsletter. Thank you so much for stopping by today, and I look forward to seeing you again.